Loopy goop, dating, comedies, and alcohol antics. Those are just a few of my favourite things. That was very off-key, but I guess I wasn't trying to be. That rhymed! Hey! I managed to recover it just at the end. This is SquishiVision. I'm about to react to episode 4 of She-Hulk. Is this not real magic? Probably my least favourite episode, and actually the one I didn't enjoy watching, to the point where I'm not even finishing my food because I was cringing the entire way through. As predicted in my description, this is the episode with the part. This was the episode of the part I was not looking forward to, that I knew was coming from the credits, which was the whole that dating comedy scene, which just made me cringe. Again, it's probably a problem with, well, not, it's not a problem with me. I'm perfect. It's a matter of taste. It's not my thing. I'm sure it's someone else's. I don't know, I'm not a fan of cringe humour. I just didn't enjoy it. And it was a lot of the episode. And then the bit about the magician being sued over using magic could have been interesting. Maybe I've got more interest in that than narratively should be put towards it, because I have a particular fascination and interest in copyright and intellectual property law, and so but obviously the context of the show is it's not going to go deeply into that. But actually, for a lawyer show, it's not too much lawyering, which I think is probably my only really critique of it so far. My genuine critique of, other than personal taste being an issue of this episode here. I think it was a case of the episode last time as well, where I didn't really go into it too deeply, the law stuff, and here it would have been nice to go into the law stuff a bit more, but no, it's actually resolved outside of the courtroom, and it would be nice to kind of actually have a whole, what are the consequences of licensing magic, and, you know, will that backfire on Wong? It was very much a comedic episode. I mean, the whole series is comedic, which was more comedic than anything else, so, yeah. I don't know much more. We don't really know what to say. I didn't like the drunk woman, because that wasn't my kind of vibe in terms of comedy and cringe humor. And I don't know, drunk people just worry me more than anything else. But that's what happens when your vast exposure of drunk people is in a clinical setting. And the dating stuff wasn't a big fan of. So. And like I said, I mean, the magic bit was interesting, but just didn't go deep enough into it to really be much of me. So, I mean, this is actually going to be a really, really short reaction. I think we'll maybe get done within the next 2 minutes, which is actually great, because I can go back to eat my food before I have to go to the bathroom and go back to my master's degree coursework, which is that's a thing that's ongoing. And then, oh yeah, the Queen died. So relevant to this episode. That was the reason why I didn't watch it yesterday. I'm pretty neutral on the Queen. Well, I'm pretty neutral on the monarchy. I'm more positive towards the Queen, just as a public figure. But you know, it's kind of that slight tangent here. On one hand, Harris is a big sucker for like historical ceremonial things, in which the monarchy very much comes into the whole traditional ceremonial stuff, which the monarchy very much comes into. On the other hand, Harris is very much progressive, far leftist socialist person, and monarchy does not really fit in that kind of identity. So you see, but what I can, you know, say with certainty, that as a person with a professional personal interest in broadcast journalism, Operation London Down is very significant enough that I didn't watch either this nor the next episode of Lower Decks yesterday, because I was watching the news. So that was what happened. Anyway, so yeah, I guess the premise for the next episode, and I guess this is the first real cliffhanger, I guess. I mean, the last one was more of a hook. This is a direct cliffhanger, where Titania, who I didn't realize I called Titania. I called her a really like poorly wrong name in the first episode of this. I'm sorry. Titania is suing her over the use of the name She-Hulk, because apparently she copyrighted it, trademarked it first. And that'd be interesting, because that's intellectual property. I'm into that kind of discussion about. I think the solution's very easy to resolve by the fact that really Jennifer doesn't really seem that fussed about She-Hulk. And actually, where has she? She used it. Apart from the dating app, I suppose. One could argue she should not actually use it in any capacity that would damage the trademark sufficiently. I guess a dating app. But she could just be like, well, I'm not going to use it anymore, but I guess you can still sue her for previous use. But that seems to be like a cut and dry. I can't imagine you'd lose much over that, because it'd be hard to argue that she lost a lot of funds. This is where my own law knowledge is coming into here. So we're interested to see how that plays out. Tune in next week for Harris's legal analysis. I'm not a lawyer, but I do work in media, so I do know a bit about media law. I guess that's all I've got to say on this. It's under 6 minutes. And apparently I'm about to die because I feel like a coughing fit coming along, so I guess what's happened when you don't sleep for like 48 hours. So I might not be next week, I might be dead. On the other hand, I might be like so happy and free because I've done all my major pieces of coursework in my academic life. Anyway, that's my reaction. Didn't like this episode, but that wasn't very much a me thing. And I will see you guys whenever I get a chance to watch the Lower Decks. Maybe tomorrow, probably, I guess. Unless I get deployed to London, which might also be what happens. So we'll see what happens there. Who knows? We live in very strange times, people. Good evening.